Alright guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to change pads out fast. Go ahead and loosen the 14mm bolt on the bottom. Now go ahead and loosen the 14mm bolt on top. Okay, now go ahead and remove the 14mm bolt on the bottom. You may want to use a flathead screwdriver to pry the caliper so it folds upwards. Now go ahead and remove the pads on both sides. You may want to remove the clips to clean the gunk that gets built up on them. I use a rag and brake cleaner to clean them off. Use a little anti-seize on the clips, bottom, top, both sides. Here's a brake disc spreader tool that we use to decompress the caliper, and you want to ensure you don't damage the rubber boot around here. So we used an old brake pad to decompress the caliper. Now ensure that the rubber boot around the piston didn't get damaged. Okay, now we are going to remove the slider pin. So we want to be careful not to rip or destroy this boot. Go ahead and hold that boot back and pull that pin out. Once the pin is pulled out, go ahead and clean the old anti-seize up. I use a rag and brake cleaner to clean them off. Here's the anti-seize from the Honda pads that it came with. Okay, here just make sure you put a pretty good coating on the pin. Okay, so here we are replacing the pads with Honda OEM pads. The aftermarket pads that we had weren't working as good as they should, so we are just replacing it with the OEM pads instead. So the OEM pads came with these springs. The pads have these holes for you to install the springs, so go ahead and install those springs. Okay, fold down the caliper. Make sure the bottom slide pin is pushed back so the caliper will sit flush. Now go ahead and screw in the 14mm bolt on the bottom. Just hand tighten it. Go ahead and take off the 14mm bolt on top. Slide the caliper forward and go ahead and do the same process as the bottom slide pin. Be careful not to destroy that boot. Okay, go ahead and clean off the pin, clean off that old anti-seize, and go ahead and put a new coat of anti-seize on this pin, and make sure you coat it pretty good. Okay, go ahead and tighten the 14mm bolts on top and the bottom, and once those are tight, they should be torqued down at 36 foot-pounds.